Well, hello, my name's Adrian, and welcome to Top Dice. And today I've got Alan and I've got Secg with me as well. Alan,
Oh,
how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yes, sorry for missing last week. It was a bit of a weird week for me, but yeah, challenging things went on, and so yeah, apologies for that. But here we are, and we're okay. We're in fine fettle.
Good stuff. Well, that would be Dragonmeet in part contributing towards that. We'll talk about that shortly. As Secg, thank you very much for joining us, creator of Alpengard.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Great to connect with my friends in the UK.
Well, it's good to have an American join us and spend time with us actually on this and talking about games. I'm looking forward to learning more about Alpengard very shortly as well. Um, but Alan, we'll start with Dragonmeet.
Yeah, we should have done this last week, really,
We
shouldn't we?
should. We didn't.
Yes. So Dragonmeet was really good. It was hard work. Shows always are. Dragonmeet, I think, can be harder still because it's a one-day event. Although there are vicious rumours that it's going to be spread across a weekend. Maybe not next year, but further forward, further down the line. So it's a one-day event, but this time we got in on the Friday to do setup. We had a bit of a hiccup because our stock arrived 4 hours late. So we were a bit frantic, but we got it there and we got things going. So and then Saturday was just crazy. It was busy. Statistically, something like 25% more people through the doors of Dragonmeet at the XL than there were at the Novotel in Hammersmith last year. So a lot more people able to attend. There were a lot more traders. The trade hall was huge. So it was good fun. It was really, really good. Interesting points of view, though, both about Dragonmeet being a bit more like now being a bit more like Games Expo, because the attendees were saying it's a bit more like Games Expo. I think I preferred it with the intimacy of being in the hotel and things were closer and more rooms and things like that. This is not to say that XL was a bad venue. It really isn't. It's a great venue. But a lot of the gamers, I think, preferred being in the XL over in Hammersmith. Sorry, in the Novotel over in Hammersmith. But then the traders were saying, this is a bit more like UK Games Expo. Isn't it brilliant? because we've got a great big proper exhibition hall where you can bring your vehicles in, you can bring, all your stock comes to your stand, you've got more space, you've got opportunities to bring more display gear and things like that. So from the traders' point of view, we absolutely loved it. From the punters' point of view, they absolutely loved it. But I think some of them would prefer the more intimate vibe from Novotel. The big thing, just pop my GMS hat on for a moment. The big thing for us that we are really proud of is that Dragonmeet have an awards ceremony, and they have best RPG for 2025, and GMS is actually the key distributor for the gold and the silver award winners in that. We were really chuffed about that.
Brilliant.
So the gold award winners is Mappa Mundi by Three Sails Studios. It's a great game. It's about exploration, and it doesn't have a combat system. It's all about resolving conflict in different ways. So it's a new take, and it's about finding beasties and recording them and things like that. And it's beautiful. If you ever get a chance to look at Mappa Mundi, it is absolutely stunning. And the silver award winner was Tales of the Old West. It's our old friends at Effects Publishing, which is a Year Zero engine game, and it's what it says on the tin, really, Tales of the Old West. So it's the Old West rather than a Weird West kind of setting that you get with what's the word? You'd think Deadlands. There we
Boot
go.
Hill, all that sort of.
Yeah, Boot Hill, Deadlands, things like but it's so two award-winning games on our roster, and we're really, really proud. And the guys have done really well, and they're superb products. So yeah.
There you
So
go.
Dragonmeet, hard work, well worth it.
Well, thanks for doing the
Awesome.
videos for us as well. Was it 6 or 7 that you actually did at the
I
end?
think there was 6 in the end. And yeah, most of which were talking about whether I needed beer or bacon and in what kind of ratio.
That's it. Yeah.
So,
These are very important questions that you've got to address as a
they
convention.
are, yes. Fat northern blokes need beer or bacon. The only thing that varies is the time of day.
Yeah, exactly. That's well, there we go. So that's for this year all wrapped up. Roll on next year. Tales of the Old West. Do you get to play much Wild West games over in America? Is that a proper genre over there?
Absolutely. Yeah. There are a lot of people who enjoy it, and you'll see them mixing things in, or if there's an adaptable or just kind of agnostic system, we'll often pull it in. So it's a blast, and just the gunslinging of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and things like that. If you can create that three-way shootout from the end of that epic movie, it just makes it that much more fun. So yes, those are definitely popular,
Yeah,
for sure. And
yeah,
although, speaking of the weird vibe, I think there's often a twist because we live in the area where the Old West happened, for a lot of Americans, you need some sort of oddity thrown in there to to kind of take them out of capture their
yeah.
imagination.
Yeah. It basically it was a tough time. Let's be quite blunt.
Mhm.
It was hard, and lots went on. So yeah, you've got to bring something, and I think that just sort of gives it a bit of a twist. Anyway,
Mhm.
enough about the Wild West. Alpengard. Tell us a bit about this. Now, I know a bit already, but in your own words, Sedge, what is
Well,
Alpengard?
awesome. It's a fantasy TTRPG. I'm a solo designer. I started it in 2011 and launched in 2025. So really 14 years working on weekends and evenings to produce the product. And it offers a fresh take, and it uses the D30. And I know Zoom is kind of blinking that out a little bit, but it's the familiar 7 dice set you're used to from, say, Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder, with the D30 as the primary task die. And I decided I wanted to build my own system and give it allow for some things that I felt would bring more depth to the game. And the D30 turned out to be perfect with what I wanted. Is for the task mechanic is it's a roll high system. So roll a d30, add your mods, go for a target number or occasionally an opposed roll. But what I also have is an energy pool called Pneuma that can be used to upgrade your rolls or to fuel powers. It's really reroll undesirable results. It's tied to just about everything. But one of the things you can do is, in the standard roll is the d30. You can upgrade for burning one Pneuma to the d20, and you get 10 plus a d20. So what it does is it takes the 1 through 30 variable component from the D30 and it compresses it to the upper 2/3. So all of a sudden, okay, I'm starting with a base of 10 and I'm rolling a D20. So that just increased my odds of success substantially. And it's a 30 character level system. So when you get to 16th and above, you can burn 2 Pneuma on the advanced roll, which starts with a base of 20, and then you roll a D10 on top of that. So instead of having, I mean, and there are fixed modifiers, but they cap at plus 20. So everything, you kind of have a maximum of 50 there with a D30 range plus 20 on top of it. So instead of having modifiers that go to super high numbers, instead I'm compressing the variable component. And part of the idea of that was fantastical realism. So a member of His Majesty's Special Air Service, a really elite soldier, this is someone with a high Pneuma pool, just relating it to the real world, who can burn 2 Pneuma on that hyper accurate strike consistently and becomes incredibly dangerous. And there's also improved and advanced harm, which is damage, and you have to fuel your powers, but it's a limited resource. So at the end of the day, you have to manage it wisely. And if I'm going into one fight and I know the game master is only throwing me into one, sure, I can do what my friend Jesse calls a Pneuma dump and just throw all my buffs at it, burn all my Pneuma for one fight. But if I'm in a dungeon crawl, uh, wait a minute. Should I burn to upgrade that roll or save 3 Pneuma for that power against the boss monster that might be around the corner? So it creates a really interesting resource management dynamic.
And the setting as well, that's very much your own creation as well.
Yes, the chapter 13 in the book has the world of the Stone Mirrors, and the book I hired quite a few different artists, and they're artists throughout the book, but I did the maps in the back. So you can see, maybe I'll get a better, Zoom is blocking it out. Sorry about that. I'll turn to the main one.
What I'll do, I'll put some links in. If you get some links to me, Secg, and I know the artwork is exceptional. I do love it, and it's a big thick book too. How many pages does it run to?
If you do the hardcover, it's 390. If you do the soft cover, it's 410. And that was just a little formatting thing with Amazon.
So that's an extra 1d10 damage, or is it a 1d30 damage? That's
exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. That's what you would call a monster in itself. That's taken some writing. Now, what about additions to it? Supplements and other things?
Well, I'm definitely working on the monster book right now. So the Alpengard core rule book, this is equivalent to the player's handbook plus the dungeon master's guide plus an entire campaign world rolled into one. And the monster book is the next big thing. And for now, in the meantime, I've made the monsters available for free on alpengard.com. So if you click on the foes link along the top and scroll down, you'll find a bunch of prototype monsters. They're PDFs made from Microsoft Word, so not pretty, but they're functional. So you can absolutely run the game.
That's all that's actually sort of needed there.
If all you're looking for is feedback on how the monsters work and how they work against enemies, then it's perfect, isn't it? You don't need more than that.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely worth a look at. And there's everything there on the website to actually get playing as well, isn't there? That's the other thing. The rules are all fully functional, working. I know I've read them, and I enjoyed the read. I did enjoy the read. So we'll come back to it. We'll do a few more. I think going forward into the new year might be an idea to actually maybe get some short sessions going, and we might stick them on vid and see how they actually go. You can talk us through character generation, etc. That's something for the future. I'll see if I can get a few.
Have you ventured into VTT with it yet, Secg?
Yes, I often play online, so I've typically used Roll20 and running Discord for the audio. But and so I hope to expand. But it's definitely, Alpengard is built on precision, so it helps to have the grid and the map up there so you can move characters around, but you don't have to. So if you want to just Roll20 and do Discord and tell it like old school Dungeons and Dragons, you can absolutely do that too. They'll both work.
Yeah,
cool. For sure.
I can confirm that after looking through that book, it will deal with most things. It's pretty impressive. It's a shame we're not seeing it over here a bit more of that, but hold that thought. Let's see what actually happens.
For sure.
Get something happening over this side with it. It certainly, I think, will be a nice thing to see on the shelf.
Would love to.
Right. What's new, Alan? That's the next question.
What's new? So, the news. Because you've not done the sound effects thing. We were going to do sound effects.
Yeah, that's it.
And,
well, I'll just settle for the classic. Here's the news.
Bong. UKGE tickets have gone on sale.
Whoa.
UK Games Expo, 29th to the 31st of May. And it's the same format, I believe, as last year. So not using Hall 1 and using the bigger halls upstairs at the NEC. So really, really looking forward to that. I think last year there was something like 60,000 unique visitors. And if they top that, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, isn't it? Looking forward to it. Again, 4 days of bloody hard work, but it's so worth it. And then I've got an announcement on a release. So today, Free League have announced Throne of Thorns Part 3, third part of a trilogy of adventures for Ruins of Symbaroum, which is the 5e version of their Symbaroum setting. Takes characters from levels 13 to 20, finishes the epic Throne of Thorns campaign. Really, really looking forward to seeing that. And that's going to be released in probably Q2 of 2026. But decent announcement. I think a lot of people are going to be quite excited about that third part of that series coming along.
There's a lot of fans, but it's a very, very dark game. Is that it? Really, really is, and it just oozes quality. The artwork and everything in it is just again amazing.
It's Free League, isn't it?
Oh well, yeah. That it goes without saying. It's hand in hand, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it's upper level. Yeah.
Oh, I just when you take a look and see the way role playing games have actually come along from the Monster Manual first edition through to what we're seeing these days, yeah, it really is another world. The more I see the new Conan RPG from Monolith, the artwork's just absolutely amazing. And I'm waiting on the Batman one as well at the moment that they did, the Gotham Knights ones. And I've seen some of the artwork in that, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. They're almost like coffee table books. They really, really are.
Mm.
It's America.
I know artwork's important in RPGs, but controversial point for discussion at some point maybe. Do people put too much store in the artwork?
I think they
Are
do.
the books being judged by the covers?
I think they are in many cases. I was just going to sort of say, Sedge, when you walk into a role playing game shop over in America, the sheer quantity, I know full well that you have more games over there than we do over here. We've fortunately with the advent of GMS, etc., we've started seeing more coming over here on a regular basis and being more accessible. But the sheer quantity of games when you walk into a game store over there, it just must be absolutely mind-blowing. Because where do you start?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, like publishers, even just in the general writing industry, they always say the most important part of the book is the spine, because that's what people see lined up along. And if it's not attractive, you know what? Hey, with that many games to choose from, people will often just blow by it. So you really do count on word of mouth and people getting the experience with the game to market them. No doubt about it.
It's. Do you have any game shops near yourself at the moment?
Yeah, no, there's a great one called Strategy and Games here in
Oh wow. Okay,
Coeur d'Alene,
we know that one.
Oh, okay.
I've ordered from
Gotcha.
Strategy and Games. Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
really? Okay, yeah, that's one of our locals here, and
Wow.
I'm in North Idaho, but they're spread all over the West, and there are a lot of quality ones
Yeah, that's
throughout the region.
it's
Yeah,
good to know that at one time there was an absolute dearth. They were very difficult to actually find in the UK, and it's just great to see the number of game shops. So I know a lot of people, not Wizards of the Coast, etc., with Dungeons and Dragons, go, oh, you know what, it's Dungeons and Dragons, but it's really brought things to the fore, and it's actually enabled indie game designers to actually push things forward in a way that previously just wasn't possible.
for sure. And I know you gentlemen know this, but we're attempting to create a middle class in an industry that can tend to be aristocracy peasantry, and where you have kind of your royals and nobles at the top, and then you have a whole bunch of indie designers at the bottom. But we're attempting to create that upward mobility so that you can bring recognition to games that very much belong on the shelves and can give people
Power
an
to the
excellent
people.
experience. Yeah, exactly. For sure.
That's it. A bit of tooting popular front there. It really is power to the people, and obviously, I'm an indie games designer myself. Allan is, so you're in good company. You really, really are. Any other news from the front, Allan?
The only other thing that I've really got, and I think this leads on to something we were discussing before we started recording, was what are we anticipating for 2026? The one that I'm really looking forward to, everybody knows that I'm a Savage Worlds fan, and we've got Han Cluster, which it's a third party setting for Savage Worlds, but it's written by Tracy Sizemore, who has done a lot of writing for Pinnacle Entertainment Group. So very instrumental in the Pine Box Middle School setting, and plenty of other things that she's written for Savage Worlds. And the Han Cluster is kind of science fiction exploring sort of transhumanism, being able to project your spirit, if you like, across distances, and so there's a lot of stuff that goes on with it. It looks really, really interesting, and it's beautifully made. Tracy has engaged a lot of the people who have worked on Pinnacle products and things like that as well. It's the same format as the Savage Worlds books, and it's just going to sit right alongside anybody's Savage Worlds collection. Really, really looking forward to it. It's been about 18 months in development. I know Tracy's put a hell of a lot of work into it, play testing for several years, running games at conventions and things like that to play test it, and then finally gets the opportunity to actually put that out there as her own product. It's Eid Soul Games, and yeah, just it's so nice to see it done. And that should be, well, I know it's gone out to backers in the US back end of last week. Again, GMS hat on for a moment. We're doing the fulfillment hopefully before Christmas for UK and EU. I'm not guaranteeing that. The stock is supposed to arrive with us on Friday. If we can get it out before the end of next week, we will. So hopefully before Christmas, and then we can get on with sort of putting that into general release. It can also be ordered via backer kit at the moment as well. So if anybody's really keen to get their hands on a copy, it's Han Cluster. So that's Han as in solo, and then Cluster, and it's on backer kit. If people want to order a copy, they can go get it there. And the creator gets more money if you go and order it from backer kit.
Yeah. It's well, you know what, we'll have to see if we can actually get her on at some stage if she wants to talk, come and talk to us about.
I will ask the question,
definitely might as well. It's what we're actually sort of here for.
Yeah. I mean, Tracy's great. She gave me a lot of advice when I was doing my setting as well, and struggling with Kickstarters and things like that. So, you know, I've got a lot of love for Tracy, and I really hope that Han Cluster does well for them.
Well, the bottom line is that it's what we're actually here for. We've started this group to support indie games, and it ticks the boxes. We're absolutely fine with larger beasts as well. I know we've got Mongoose now, which has become a much larger organisation. We've got Modipius, we've got Cubicle 7, but it's the small guys as well. They're the ones that really sort of count, as far as I'm concerned. And you get some amazing out there.
Yeah.
The thing, it's where the innovation actually comes from. They look at what was there, what's been out, and they come up with so many different tweaks of new stuff. And okay, Wizard of the Coast, it's churning out the same stuff again. And Cubicle 7, they're using the same house systems, and Modipus with the 2D20, and it's just great to see something that's done differently. Even if it's using one of the other engines, it's usually so different that it really does sort of strike a chord there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Secg can back us up on this. Is, you know, I looked at certain things when I did Section D and thought, right, so here's some of the things that Savage Worlds can do. How can I do that better? What do you think, Secg?
For sure. Yeah, I started with Dungeons and Dragons in the early 1980s, and there were always things that made me think I'd like to tweak this or that. And then eventually it clicks with you, hey, I can make my own system. Like, how about a system where an intelligent warrior can be every bit as dangerous as a strong or a quick one, which also opens up role-playing opportunities. So yes, it's when you get into these systems, you find those little innovations, and that kind of competition does improve the experience for the players.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm sort of similar to you. I started with Redbox D&D in the early 80s, probably 84 or something like that. And the next game that I discovered was Palladium Fantasy, and that was just a wow moment for me, because you had all of these different, you know, instead of having race as class, and things like that, you had races, you had classes, you had skills, you could do different, you know, this druid was totally different to this druid, and it was just amazing when I remember reading that book cover to cover, and just thinking, yeah, that okay. So D&D was all right, and it got me into role playing, and it opened my imagination up. But then when I read Palladium, it was just awesome.
New worlds open up. It's Palladium had its definitely had its place. It's it should have been bigger than it was.
They didn't do badly.
Yeah, it could have done so much better though as well. This is
Yeah.
is the
But
thing.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting a reprint, isn't it? Or it's had a
Oh,
reprint,
that
I think.
that did. I'm talking about Palladium Fantasy specifically.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it might come about. Who knows?
Be very interesting to sort of see if he can clean it up and update it, just to get a new version of it there, but actually really sort of smooth the edges off,
Hmm.
and yeah, it would do the job.
Yeah.
It would.
What about you? You must have played some Palladium games in your time, Sedge?
You know what? I've only heard of it. I actually didn't play any Palladium
Wow.
games.
Okay.
I was so sucked into Dungeons and Dragons for so long until World of Darkness came along and just
Right.
launched with Vampire the Masquerade. And
Okay.
that's when I went
Yeah.
to. But like so many people, I think it's just one of the things that you two are also indie designers. You face the inertia of people get used to one thing, and it's tough to break out of it. And hey,
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. I totally get it. That's why I put my ebook for such a super sale is because I realized that, you know what, it's if you're used to something, it's difficult to make the jump over to something else. So it's you want to get it out there. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't played Palladium, but based on your recommendation, I clearly need to look into it.
Oh, it's well worth it because
Definitely.
yeah, it's
It's when you're saying that Vampire was something you could get your teeth into as well, wasn't it?
oh,
Yeah.
really? You've gone there? That's
Sucked the blood out of
terrible.
me.
Well, very quickly from my side, the one I'm looking forward to next year is Assassin's Creed, the role playing game. It does look very different. Proof will be in the pudding when it does arrive. It's been delayed now for 18 months, so I pre-ordered it about 22 months ago. So I've been waiting some time. We'll see what happens. Anything particular you're looking forward to, Sedge?
You know what? I actually got a couple friends of mine in the UK, Regal Realms Productions. They just launched beta rules for their Fireteam Tactical Skirmish, which is a modern warfare game. And I'm just interested to see how they develop that. A couple of really great guys. And I also got to play Hauntaway recently. Speaking of which, I know it's already been released, but yeah, Regal Realms just launched beta, and I know they're going to develop it, and I want to see what they can do in 2026, and hopefully let it hit the
So
market.
is that an RPG or is that more of or is that more war game?
It's more of a war game.
Right.
You can bring in the role playing elements. It's definitely quick combat, but I was able to throw in some personality when they were playing in America and they were playing all these various tough soldiers. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to play an Apache warrior because I'm the token American in the group with a bunch of other Brits. So I thought, yeah, let me bring that Americanness straight into the game. So you can absolutely implement a role playing element there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, that might be up my street. As an old Twilight 2000 fan, that might be right up my street.
right on.
Well, back in the day, very quickly, there was a series of GDW games, the Assault series, and we played the Assault series, but we also took it down at some point to Twilight 2000 level.
Yeah.
So it worked very, very well. It was very, very interesting, and I
Wow.
played with with a Canadian and an Australian actually amongst the players. So it was an international one, and that was face to face across the table. It got very, very interesting. Both of them had strong military backgrounds, so yeah, they certainly pulled some stunts. Anyway,
And
uh,
remember the golden rule of Twilight 2000: never, ever, ever use a grenade.
blow up in your face. Anyway,
Surefire way to blow yourself up. Anyway, sorry.
yeah. That's very, 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 very true. Oh God, look, do you know what? I miss GDW. It's great to see it back, but the GDW version, I think, just absolutely rocked. It was definitely a statement of
It
the
was
time.
groundbreaking at the time.
Yeah, very, very much so. Well, we've covered most. Do you know what? We're almost out of time. We haven't had a chance to have a look at the web page today, the Facebook group. But you know what? That'll keep till next week.
There's a great discussion on there about favourite mechanics.
I know that I was going to
Um,
jump on that, but you know what? It's got 77 comments already. Good old Paul Goldston. He comes up with
yeah,
some
so
classic queries, doesn't he?
mhm.
So yeah, and we've had Steve. doing some odd reviews as the expendable GM as well. Absolute character, that bloke. I love him to bits. So there's been a few things going on there, and we will go and visit it next week. But any last words from yourself, Secg?
Oh, just thank you very much for having me on here. Really great to connect with you guys.
It might be worthwhile sort of maybe joining us once a month or something like that, if that would permit at the.
Absolutely. No, I'd love to, and really appreciate your perspectives. You're definitely opening
It's
new
just
doors
great.
for me.
Works both ways. It really, really does, because again, you brought quite a bit to the table today, so to speak, and yeah, very, very definitely. And we want more Alpengard too. So that's a conversation for another time. Allan, any last words from you?
Do you know what? I've got one thing so I've got my regular East Texas University session going on tomorrow, but next week our group is having its Christmas party, and our GM is running a Shadowrun themed game. But so Shadowrun at Christmas. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be great. I'd love to know, do other people have do they get their group together and just do a Christmas themed game? We've done it every year for about the last 10 years. I'd love to know if anybody else does it. So there you go. I'll throw that out.
We do.
But other than that, I just hope everybody stays well, stays safe, and enjoy playing your games.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I've got another D&D session coming up next week that I'm running with some new players. I'm looking forward to that one. And Secg, I'm guessing you've got quite a few games going on too.
Absolutely. Introducing Alpengard and running it online to teach people the game.
Excellent.
Sure.
That's the way to do it.
If you have any live plays, let's link them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's you know what? I do have a group we haven't been able to connect in a while, but I will let you know when we pull it off for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. And any links that you want me to put in this video, I'm going to delay doing anything with it till tomorrow. So normally I get them out the same night, but that gives you a chance, Phil, to actually come and get those links to me of the website, anything else you want on there. Also, if there's anything you want me to sort of pop on as well, Allan, the new releases, we can get them out there. Right. Well, thank you very much. Well, it's goodbye from them. Very much so. Thank you very much.
And it's goodbye from him.
It is indeed. Keep rolling the dice.
Hey, we got it right.
And there you go. It's worked. It's worked.
Take care, everybody.